Oi, oi. We have ourselves a Singapore Grand Prix. Tis indeed the 22nd of the ninth, 2024. The time 12:36. How are we all? I am here. It is race day. There's a lot about which we can get excited today. Maximilian Verstappen versus Lando no wins down into turn one. Who's going to do it? Is Lando going to filtrate out his mistakes? The mistakes that have so plagued his Drivers' Championship season to date? Potentially. I mean, just imagine if he had made no mistakes thus far. Who's this chap? As we get Martin Brundle's Grindwalk, some famous person there, but I don't know who he is. That's Miles Chamley Watson, Olympic foil fencer. Is this Lewis Hamilton's mate? It might be. I don't know. And again, rubbing my hands together, Mivashi. It's gonna get techie. Visual says, "Wish I wasn't working." Oh, Visual. Oh, the humanity. I will endeavour to be your eyes and ears. However, sir, as we are T minus 23 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap, and I'm on it. I'm on it. I feel like I'm here for it. I hope we see Singapore always not great for overtaking, right? And so that's why it was so important that Lando dropped it on pole. But he needs to finish the job, eh? Job done. Job ain't finished. Job ain't done yet. To use the words of the immortal Kobe Bryant, job ain't done yet. Only 50% of the job is done. Now comes the real stuff, the point scoring paid sessions, where Lando needs to get off the line proper and finish the first lap in first place. And then we can have ourselves a conversation about true, genuine convergence between now and the end of the season. Brandon, you're a legend, Brandon. Let's go. Let's go. Lewis Hamilton 44. You know what? I think I need to check myself back in for a second, because I need to put some respect on to Lewis Hamilton. They didn't even talk about him yesterday in the qualifying review. Come on, Martin, you're losing it, chap. You're going to barge in the way and talk to somebody. What's going on? Mark Cavendish, a biker, I think, back in the day. I think so. I don't know who Mark Cavendish is, I'll be honest with you. Oh, yeah, Tour de France biker. I thought so. But Bradley Wiggins type, you know what I mean? Mark Froome. That won a record 35 Tour de France stages. Fair play. Fair play to the chap. Go on then. It is going to be interesting. It's going to be difficult to overtake around here. But remember, there's an additional DRS zone mitigating that somewhat. But it's going to be the physical challenge. It's going to be tyres. Let me put some respect on Lewis Hamilton's name, as aforementioned, as the first order priority. Why? Well, because he nailed it yesterday, right? He put that Mercedes in third position. Of course, he was the beneficiary of the tyre lottery, meaning that those tyres somehow managed to come alive for him. Season to date, Lewis has argued about or spoken of nothing but tyre variances. Of course, we're talking about optimal temperature window. But of course, per Colt LH all around the world, Lewis Hamilton has brilliant performance in free practice 3, and then there's a massive variance and or drop off between that session and Q1, the first paid session. And he doesn't want that, does it? He doesn't need that. Does Lewis Hamilton? In fact, the exact opposite. He needs for the car to be consistent and dependable in order for him to extract 10/10 all the lap time that's on the table. And for once, it happened to George Russell the other way, right? George was the one who struggled doing qualifying, who had brilliant FP3 pace, and then all of a sudden it vanished. George said that something is going on with that Pirelli, those Pirelli tyres, that he doesn't understand, nor does the team understand, nor does Pirelli understand. And this is where it gets techie. Lewis Hamilton has been complaining about this all season. People just saying hello to Martin Brundle. He's not getting as many stars as you'd expect, eh? Yeah, props to Verstappen on FI Protect, mate. I enjoyed that video yesterday. If you haven't seen that video where we went scorched earth yesterday, one of my better exhibits. Really, really good. I enjoyed that. Maximilian Verstappen is absolutely on the money with his protestations. Punish. What are you talking about? Yeah, I get it. But focus on the bloody rules on track, eh? Because you can barely institute those. Mohammed Ben Sulayem, as an example. Like, do you know what I mean? If you can get your transponders correct and deduce with some sort of accuracy what a full start looks like, then cool. But if you can't get that right, then establish your first order. Nail your first order priorities first, and then get back to me. Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Do you know what I mean? As Martin Brundle has a chat with Christian Horner, and says that Max Verstappen was on a very, very good lap when the cheeky red flag came out for Carlos Sainz's discrepancy. Cheeky love kiss with the barrier. Importantly, we talk about Carlos Sainz actually, because I'm rooting for Carlos. I desperately want him to nail modern day Jean Alesi in the battle. In the battle to be the Scuderia Ferrari Apex Predator, the lead Ferrari driver. I'll be honest with you, it would nothing could make me more happy if, as at the end of the season, with T-minus 19 minutes to go to the start of this Grand Prix, nothing would make me more happy if Carlos Sainz ends the season with more points in the driver's standing than one modern day Jean Alesi. I'll be honest with you. Why? Well, because everybody said that Charles is the chosen one, but I see iniquities in his driving style. And again, this race weekend is an example of that. But in order to do that, Carlos, you can't make mistakes. When Charles drops it or suffers by virtue of a cheeky track infringement, ends up in 9th on the grid, you need to take advantage of that, Carlos Sainz Jr. And if you don't, then you won't, ultimately. Zach Brown says he's going to lead every lap. I feel like this is jinxed. Oh, it's going to be tacky, isn't it? Again, the lead. He's got to shout again, talking to my guy Martin of lower lap times. He said that what he wants to see, what he's looking out for, yeah? He wants to see how Lando Norris directs his car. Remember, it's a left-hander, I think, into turn 1. Does he point his car towards Maximilian Verstappen like the greatest, the most ruthless ones used to? Senna used to do it all the time. Please remember as your exhibit A 1990, you know, the one where we took out Alain Prost. Park you that you got to defend that inside line with your life, Lando Norris, with your life at all costs. Do you know what I mean? Don't point straight and think that you're going to stand a chance. Max Verstappen will steal your lunch money again for the avoidance of that. And there are travails as far as that McLaren starting off the line. He's had gear shift issues. There's been a software glitch shifting from first to second. I don't know if that McLaren, that MCL 38, is the best off the line we get as we get a cheeky look at Danny Rick on his last. Oh, mate. Poor Danny Rick, Joanna. Do you know what I mean? There's a really good Danny Rick quote. I'll read it out to you. Make me feel really sad about Danny Rick. This, of course, being his last race. Carlos being asked the question, is your car feeling good? Carlos says the mechanics have done a fantastic job. We are ready to go. Because soon, in T-minus 17 minutes. Oh, Brundle says, can we have a word, Max? Max now feeling a bit more... He's happy to talk to the press and media, but just not under the confines of the FI drivers' press conference, right? And I don't hate it, mate. I don't hate it. In fact, we have to be careful what we say, says Max Verstappen. Again, another dig at the FIA for their punitive measures. You know what I mean? That they're instituting on a dude that earns like 50 million basic a year. I mean, come on. And they're in conversations, aren't they? In real time, Joma, you're a legend, Sir Mubashir. Charles to Cam is as Lando is to me. I love that. That reminds me of my 11 plus many moons ago. Oh, Lenny Kravitz, don't care. Right, let me say Anthem coming soon. But I want to read you guys out something. I feel like I know that I took a screenshot of this at some point. Fudge. Where is this? You know, as you're researching, you just take a gazillion screenshots. Basically, okay, the story went like this. There's a journo, I want to say it's Rosanna, I can't remember her surname, talking about Danny Rick, of course, as we're T-minus 15 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap and a Singapore Grand Prix 2024 race start. She saw Danny Rick, and again, he had a smile on his face, as he tends to do. This is why I like seeing Danny Rick on the grid, because he's a beaming light of a personality, if not a brilliant driver, as at 2024. But here's what he said. At least you're still smiling, said the journalist to Danny Rick. At least you're still smiling. Danny Rick said, no, this smile is fake. I mean, well, go on, Coyote. They are seeing forward. How can you not have your heart broken by those things? How? They're just... Danny Rick's putting a brave face on it, a smile on it artificially, because he's dying inside. Why? Because ostensibly, by all accounts, this is going to be his last race. Again, Christian Horner and Helmut Marko are going to have a chat after the Singapore Grand Prix. Between now and the next Grand Prix at Kota, expect Liam Lawson to be subbed in. Christian Horner told us as much yesterday in his chat, didn't he? Like, you know what, sometimes you've got to make some important decisions. Why? Because at the moment, they're all going to be a function of sandwiching Liam Lawson. And here's what I think. This is me connecting the dots in the background. Apophenia settings. I think they want to keep Liam Lawson in-house. I think initially they potentially wanted to loan Liam Lawson out to Audi. However, Colapinto's come in, and by virtue of his not insubstantial performance this season today over the past couple of Grand Prix, improving upon Logan Sargent, Colapinto's made his claim for that seat at Sauber, soon to become Audi, hasn't he? It's been brilliant, super young, cool, calm head, everything that you want to see from a young, hot prospect F1 driver, of course. So Colapinto has thrown a massive monkey wrench into that machine. He's been the bend in that line. But for Colapinto, I'm convinced that they would have loaned out Liam Lawson and potentially Danny Rick might have got more time. But because Colapinto's been so good, Colapinto goes to Sauber, soon to be Audi at some point. And now you've got to find a position, a place in the team for Liam Lawson, lest you want to lose him because of his contract clause. Ted Kravitz taking a look at Audi. What are they doing? What are they doing to the Audi? We are T-minus 13 minutes. Bloody Nora, brake problem going ham on that Aston Martin, eh? Mate, just retire the car at this point. Can you imagine if you're trying to fix the brakes with 13 minutes to go? Oh my gosh. Looking at the pictorial of Aston Martin engineers go ham on those brakes. Up against it, are you going to make... Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll get it turned around. F1 engineers don't mess about, you know. I used to go to school with somebody that worked for Red Bull as an engine engineer. Top level genius type, you know. Top level genius, do you know what I mean? Okay, which broadcast are you watching? International feed or F1 live? International feed always for now. I need to transition across at some stage. 184 of you watching concurrently as we are T-minus 12 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap in a Singapore race start. Lance Stroll saying that the brake is chaos. Oh no, Aston Martin having a nightmare of a race start procedure. Oh wow. Oh Lance, poor Lance. Just chill out, Lance. Go on a sabbatical, Lance, for a bit. Do you know what I mean? There's only a couple of races left this year. Just chill out. Let Felipe Drugovich take the wheel and then come back when Adrian Newey comes back in. Do you know what I mean? Just relax yourself. And by the way, as soon as formation lap kicks off, we'll be going live with metrics, courtesy of our mates over at the goatiest F1 app to have ever goated. Of course, the one that they call Multiview. It's free to download. Tack it onto your F1 TV access, and you are Gucci to go, if indeed you like to watch metrics and add value stats with your F1 viewing pleasure. Don't forget to hit the likes. Let's go, Mubashir. Lando said Ricardo is his inspiration to smile. I don't hate it, but you know what, I've discovered something about Lando Norris. So I was mulling it over overnight and I realised this is who Lando Norris is. Lando, I think Lando and Max, they're friends, but they're very different in their approaches and what they use to motivate and leverage as far as optimizing for their performance on track. There was a fighter, you know, I like to leverage. Listen, sports are analogous, right? There's no original story in sports. They don't rhyme or they don't repeat, but sometimes they do rhyme as far as sporting history. That's right, Lando. Get your eyes closed and meditate and dial in, sir. You know what I mean? Visualize turn one, lap one, you crossing the line in first place, having fended off Maximilian Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, doing everything that you need to do. He's got some, I mean, there's a few championships behind him, right? Immediately behind him. So no pressure. Lando, no wins. Do you know what I mean? But I shouldn't even say no wins because I'm rooting for him today. I'm hoping with the competitive landscape front and centre, I'm hoping that he can nail it. But here's what Lando Norris is. There was a fighter in the UFC called Donald Cowboy Cerrone, and he was brilliant under a very specific set of circumstances. What he needed was no needle between him and the dude that he was about to get in the old octagon and fight with. A good atmosphere, all banterous and playful and jovial. He needed to be able to communicate with the dude that he was about to get into the UFC and try and knock out. if it became acrimonious, Donald Cowboy Cerrone couldn't operate within those circumstances. And I think that is Lando Norris. That's why he tries to keep it friendly and banterful, right? I think he operates best when, of course, the pressure is minimised, of course, but when it's all friendly and banterful. That's why when you see Lando at the driver's press conference, largely, he's just smiling and he's trying to be banter. He daren't take on Maximilian Verstappen. They asked him, do you think Max's punishment is fair as far as what the FIA have meted out to him? And Lando Norris was always going to, he joked initially and said, well, I think it's completely unfair. I think it's completely on the money. And then he turned around and said, no, I think it's unfair. And he's always going to do that. That's fine. If those are the conditions under which you extract the best of your performance, fine, I'm happy with it. If you like it, Lando Norris, then I love it for you. But you can't translate that in the way in which you deal with a Max Verstappen in the car. Sometimes you've got to be a bit combative, and I think that's the lesson that Lando needs to extrapolate and execute for, particularly on lap 1 when we get lights out in T-8 minutes. John, some boxers do that. Yeah, they like it to be all nice and friendly. I've spotted that with Lando now. He's not confrontational, and that, again, that's fine for the avoidance of that outside the cockpit. But there comes a point when you're in the car, wheel-to-wheel combat, automated pugilism, that those two things are mutually exclusive. We can't be friends and friendly and want the same 25 points. At some point, there comes a point when there's got to be automotive, pugilistic confrontation, eh? Techie. Some boxers do that. I just understood what you've done there, John. We'll talk about AJ at some point. He just hasn't got it there. I love AJ, but, mate, it's not... Lando's a quick mofo. He's very quick, isn't he? Thank you so much, Artiser. It had to be done, mate. I need to start doing this regularly, because more regularly, at least once a week, I think. Because my young man, when I grow it out, my young man just disrespects me even more. Lizard Stroll will beat lads. Oh, the vanity. This is chaos. Go on then. T-7 minutes. Let me get some metrics out. I want to get these metrics ready to go. Go on. Go on then, Cameron. Cheeky metrics courtesy of our mates over at Multiviewer. This promises to be a techie race. Techie race. Of course it will be techie. I just want to see. I'm nervous for this start. This start of this race means so much. Why? Because it's really difficult to overtake around here. The problem that Singapore pitches at these drivers each and every single year is one of physical endurance first and foremost, but secondarily because of the hot and humid conditions. Managing for tyre deck, Oscar Jack Piastri has proven that clean air is king, right? Clean air is king. And again, that makes more important the stakes of Lando Norris getting to the end of lap 1 in first position. And again, if you're invested, can you imagine Lewis as well? Lewis is one. You remember Silverstone. Lando tried to pull one up the outside of Lewis very speculatively and ended up getting his lunch stolen by one Maximilian Verstappen. Do you know what I mean? These guys don't mess about, and don't expect Lewis to mess about. If you're going to make a move, Max or Lando, whoever it is, then make it clean, clinical, because otherwise there's too many. It's a piranha's tank. This thing that we call F1. You know what I mean? Take no prisoners and all that. They did a really good bit on Sky Sports F1 actually talking about the extrapolating for Red Bull's current rate of growth or non-growth, if that's even a thing. Saying where it's come from, all of the Christian Horner allegation gate, the plethora of key personnel and intellectual property that they've had leave the team recently. Adrian Newey, of course, being the name most worthy of mention. Jonathan Wheatley too, Rob Marshall, Dan Fallows. There's been others. Enrico Balbo and Pierre Vacher have said that they've got this nailed, that they can handle it. But again, what we're seeing in real time is evidence to the contrary. Pierre Vacher and Enrico Balbo, fix your fudging car, to use the infamous words of one Horner that Christians. Do you know what I mean? How about you fix your car? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Fix your car, ladies and gents. Otherwise, move silently and only speak when it's time to say checkmate. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're anticipating round here. Do you mean? Come on, Enrico Balbo, Pierre Vacher. You lot were doing all the talking. Amanda Newey tweeted out yesterday. Did you see her? She was referencing bad language gate, referencing her own tweet in response to Pierre Vacher and Enrico Balbo, who was saying at the time that Adrian Newey didn't even touch the RB19 car, minimising his involvement in Red Bull's success over the past 12 to 24 months, saying that he's only been working on the RB17 hypercar project. How very dare they? And Amanda Newey, legend, Adrian's missus, concurred, didn't she? Her tweet said, that's nonsense. And she didn't use the word nonsense, did she? She used the word bull ox. What she said. Referenced it again today. I feel like that was a bit of told you so. That was a told you so tour from Amanda Newey. And she did tell us so, to be fair to her. Sometimes you got to hold people's feet to the fire and, you know what I mean? Hold them to account. What do you mean? Again, up. Crofty going for DRS zones. Three DRS zones set to 1, 2, and 3. 4.9 kilometers, 323.3 kilometers per hour top speed, 19 turns, 5.28 meters is your variance as far as your elevation. Oh, the humanity. It's going to be techie, eh? I can't wait. Let's go. I'm here for this. C5, softest compound tyres, C5, C4, C3. Let us go, therefore, as we are T-minus 3 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap, and I am here from it, ladies and gents. Maybe Max would do better in the V-carb car. Mate, it looked like that for a second during free practice, didn't it? It was bonkers. Yes, music says you're on. Let's go. Maybe she do. Still need to check. It's not the best intro music. It's not as good as the basketball intro music of the early 90s. You know what I mean? They'll change it soon. 4 DRS. Sorry, Mubashir. I thought it was 4, but then I just saw on the bloody screen the graphic said 3. I apologise and walk back my inaccuracies. You know what I mean? Journalistic integrity, Cameron. What do you know about that, chap? Right, let's go. Let's get ourselves. Cheeky. Colapinto again. Remember, Colapinto not a million miles away from what's his face. And by what's his face, of course, I'm talking about Alex Albon. That's significant, isn't it? Really, really significant. What's this on my face? Colapinto said he was really, really disappointed by not beating Mr. Alex Albon yesterday. Why? Well, there's a couple of different things in there. He lacked his he wasn't able to deploy DRS first and foremost, which cost him a couple tenths. And plus, he doesn't have the upgraded car, does he? The upgraded car is only has only been reserved for Mr. Alex Albon, which is techie, really techie. Get this ugly mug, Cameron. Sort out your life. Get your put your best foot forward, chat. Right, so we got our cheeky metrics up on the go. There's 312 of you in the chat. Do me a favor, smash the like because it matters truly. T-minus 1 minute away from a cheeky formation lap. I'm ever so slightly behind on my audio and visual, but you know what I mean. It is what it is. That's an intro. It's gonna get techie. No F1 intro song. Do you think so? Nah, I don't know. Still Fleetwood Mac Chains, mate. You can't beat that. Sorry, just hits a little bit differently. Hola folks, says Ron Real. Oh, it's gonna get techie. Nervous fudge, it's early. I know you guys all over the world dealing with different time zones. I was on to Mr. Peter D. Windsor, and he's still on European time, but it's techie, isn't it? So once you've done the launch, Lance, we want to make space before turn 1. Oh, wow. Meaning, therefore, that Aston Martin still aren't convinced of those brakes, are they? Aston Martin struggling desperately to make the brakes work again. Lance Stroll complaining about the brake efficacy, or lack thereof, on the way down to the grid. 30 seconds to go. Let's go. Come on. 290 of you watching Kokona. Do me a favor, smash a like. Let's go. Oh gosh, how do you like your F1? Oh. Okay, props, Lando. Do a little cheeky practice start. That's what you need. Zone in, chap. Zone in. It's game time now, Lando. Do you know what I mean? Modern day, sure. Lewis unused softs. Go on, let's have a cheeky look. You guys are going to have to be my eyes and ears. Sadly, multi-viewer no longer allows me to open up two. So, tyres. Norris is on mediums. Verstappen mediums. Everybody's on mediums apart from Lewis on softs. Oh, the humanity. And Danny Rick also on softs. May as well go for it, Danny Rick. You know what I mean? Kamikaze settings. This is the last ride indeed. Magnussen trying something different on hards. So too Lance Stroll trying something different on hards. Bottas Shogun Yu also on hard. Pierre Gasly over radio. Yeah, Gasly sounding positive after just having no doubt done his tennis ball drills. Right, let's go. I just did an allergy test and I realised I've got allergies. Yeast and mould. I hope I haven't got mould in this room. Mate. That might be why you see me start snivelling towards the end. Right, T minus, well, we are formation lapping. And I'm nervous. 298 if you're watching concurrently. Danny Rick on softs. Oh, the humanity. He's got a gamble. Do you know what I mean? Cams, your eyes and ears. Let's go, Jovo. Moderator extraordinaire. Sneaky Magnussen on hards. Very sneaky. Right, let's go. Yeah, he's got to try and make an overtaking. But if, do you know what I mean? If he ends up lumbered behind Maximilian Verstappen and Norris et al. To turn 16, launch feedback, you are on target. Oh, wow. Lando getting coached through this starting procedure. Let's go. Right. They're lining up. Well, they're still going round. Lando and Norris approaching turn 19 and starting to concertina up the pack. Props, Lando. This is what needs to happen. I'm going to lift into 18 if you can. Exactly. So what they're doing there, Lando doesn't want to be the first one to start on the grid. He doesn't want to be there waiting for too long. Meanwhile, the car's overheating, the brakes overheating. He wants to concertina that pack up and make sure that Maximilian Verstappen is sat still overheating just as long as he has. Stage one for Lando and Norris executed very well, sir. Props. Now we need to get a launch, eh? That's all that we need to do. Again, I'm a little bit behind on my audios and visuals, but for the sadists amongst you, you will see the action unfold before your eyes before I do. 308 if you're watching. Lando Norris has lined up. And then we need to pay attention to the angle of attack from Lando Norris. Is he pointing at Max Verstappen? Show us the head on, Sky Sports F1. Is Lando doing one of these? Is he pointing at Max? That's going to be critical. Because again, that would be the combative stance that he would need to take to maximise his chances. Yes! You see Lando? Lando's angled beautifully out towards Maximilian Verstappen. Shout out to Martin of lower lap times. That's what he said he needs to do. Lando needs to do like Michael Schumacher and defend the inside of turn one with his life, ladies and gents. Look at him angled. Let's go. But so too is Maximilian Verstappen mirroring Lando's angle of attack. Make it into turn one, Lando. That's all that we need to do, chap, here. That's all. And again, I'm speaking, of course, with the competitive landscape front and centre of my mind. Come on then, Lando. Let's have you go. Everybody's lined up. Pause ESPN. Yeah. And you're fine. Oh, two red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we are go. Lando Norris has got a decent start. Max Verstappen bugged down, though. He's going to lose. Max Verstappen risking losing. Lewis is round the outside. Oh, Lewis backs out. No. And mayhem behind. Everybody going down the runoff area and cutting corners. Wow. What is going on there? Chaos behind them, but Lando Norris critically makes it through to turn one in front of Maximilian Verstappen. For once in his life, he hooked up the launch and nailed it. Look at him already gapping Maximilian Verstappen. Boy, that dude is nothing if not slow. Already the delta between Maximilian Verstappen and Lando Norris, 0.7 of a second. What is going on? Piastri up the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. What is going on? Up into 5th place. Yuki Tsunoda is your biggest loser, down to 11th, having lost himself 3 places. Perez up to 10th, 3 places. Colapinto up into 9th. What happened to Alex Albon? Alex Albon is your biggest loser. Look at Carlos Sainz. He's not having it, is he? Carlos Sainz right up on the gearbox of Yuki Tsunoda, looking to make some progress early again. He's out of position, isn't he? Just as is one Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy. 62 laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix. Your runners and riders off the start. Lando Norris maintains first position, already on the verge of gapping Max Verstappen and breaking the DRS once it kicks in on the second lap. Remember, no longer 3 laps. This year in 2024, DRS activates on lap 2. Lewis Hamilton in third. Again, had a cheeky look up the outside of Max Verstappen, but thought better of it, right? And I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I'll be honest with you. Chat. I kind of wish that Lewis had... if that was Lewis Hamilton of 2007, look at that, DRS activated as we go into lap 2. If that were Lewis Hamilton of 2007, you think he would have backed out of that? Absolutely no chance. Put some respect on Sir Lewis Hamilton's name. Lewis Hamilton in third. Again, leads his teammates, George Russell, who's on mediums, by the way. Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Leclerc, Colapinto, Perez. Complete your top 10. Oh, the humanity. 361 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour and smash the like. Can't get the rear wheel and go open, Martin. No, can't stay within DRS. Lando no wins, has too much pace. Look at that, 1.07 seconds is the delta between the race lead in Lando Norris and second place in Maximilian Verstappen. He's gone already, hasn't he? How is Lewis 2.5 seconds behind on softs? I don't know what's going on. I think he might have issues with turning them on. 2.5 seconds adrift of the race lead, by the way. What you're seeing is the gap to the lead, not necessarily the intervals. So if you're doing an interval, 1.6, you need to do some very basic maths, which I can't do because I'm too nutty. But 1.6 seconds is the delta between Maximilian Verstappen and Sir Lewis, Carl, Davidson, Hamilton. 303 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour. Lewis, let's go, bruv. You put these softs on. Let's get up there. Give him time, Kayori. Give him time. He'll now he's got DRS. Now DRS is there for him. If and when he gets there, we'll see something from Lewis. But again, it's tyre lottery, isn't it? Massive tyre lottery. Yuki Tsunoda, bloody Nora. Biggest winners and losers. Winners from the start. Perez up 3 places into 10th. Colapinto at 3 places into 9th. Ahead, critically, of his teammate Alex Albon, who just so happens to be the biggest loser from the start. Down 4 places. Now in 15th. Oh, the humanity for Alex Albon. Does not need that. Wise loose on softs. So I think they would have taken a gamble. Put him super racy, and hopefully he can make some headway. Overtake potentially at least one of Max or Lando early on. Otherwise, it will be a no-go. Or remember, around here, I feel like every time we've raced around here, there's always been a safety car, and potentially for once, Mercedes have done some maths and deduced that safety car tends to happen early. Ergo, get your stint out on softs, and when safety car comes out, hopefully, fingers crossed, at some time between now and the end and the first safety car window, or the first pit stop window, and then you get yourself a cheeky discounted pit stop. I'm riffing. I'm speculating massively. I don't know what's in their mind, but that's an option. Lando's purple thus far. He's gone, Macon. Hamilton's softs didn't turn on in time. Well, just give him a couple laps run. What you can't afford to do with his current tyre spec and the symbiosis of these tyres and cars, you can't afford to. He needs to increase the pace a bit. Oh, wow. George giving Lewis the hurry up already. Behave yourself, George. Focus on your own race, chap. But of course, the problem with this for Lewis, if he grains those tyres or flat spots them, your stint's done. There's no getting them back. Once they're outside of the window, you've grained them, or it's deg, or it's thermal wear. There's no walking that back. Hence why you've got to be really careful at bringing them up to optimal temperature window. And I think that's what Lewis is experiencing right now. Like, I think he's keen to... He doesn't want to do that. Not just yet, at least. There's a long way to go this first stint, right? Even if he is on softs, what he can't afford to do is have them... Yeah, Russell giving... Yeah, standard George. Russell settings, right. Standard. So tyre metric is looking good at the moment. Verstappen 38.9. George 39.7. Lewis is being given the hurry up, isn't he? Bloody Nora. So time metrics are looking good at the moment, says George Russell. Lando is not managing the pace. Wow. Wow. Carlos Sainz Jr. Lando's not managing the pace. He's dipping off. And again, as far as bloody Nora, Lando was sharp off the start, as we just see Lewis was there. Oh, God. Lewis was right up the outside of Max Verstappen, but he just he defers to the three soon to be four-time champion as we get a cheeky replay of one of the Haas cars. You see how Lando paired it up on how he lined up nicely, pointed right at the apex of turn one. And again, that's the combative nature and the execution that we need to see from Lando, that Lando needs to see from Lando, if indeed he harbours aspirations of challenging in earnest for the Drivers' Championship this year. Wow. Franco did indeed just dive on Alex Albon. What did he want him to do? Wow, Alex Albon fuming. Now he's got challenged. This is different. Wow. Franco Colapinto at the inside of Alex Albon into turn one. Let's go. Rancor and stay. Listen, Alex, to be fair, you're a brilliant driver, but I feel like Lewis, Alex got too used to having a gnome, like a sleeping policeman of a teammate. And Franco Colapinto he's come to take names. He's not come to play games. Oscar Piastri, bloody Nora. Oscar Piastri on that house, super clinical. Last of the late breakers. Again, I was talking to Martin of lower lap time, and when you can saw F1 tempo and look at their telemetry, all throughout, common themes throughout qualifying, Oscar Piastri is very late on the brakes. But as versus Lando's much earlier on the throttle, or at least he was all throughout the sessions around here hitherto. Paisley says, who does George think he is? Oh, can't stand him. Paisley's a racing driver. I don't like it. It doesn't benefit my driver, Sir Lewis Hamilton, but ultimately, George Russell, King George Russell, first of his name, has come to take names and try and win himself a race. And sadly for Lewis, that objective, by default, by definition, even is in diametric opposition of everything that Sir Lewis Hamilton wants. Oh, wow. Lewis being told, stick to your own race. What is going on, Mercedes? Please sort it out. As Lenny Kravitz would get a cheeky look at Lenny. Gap now 2.0 is what Lando's being told. Bloody Norway. How has he pulled out 2 seconds in 2 laps? Not quite. 1.6 is the delta. As we are 6 laps to the good. 57 remaining. The gap between Messrs Norris and Verstappen, 1.626. Bloody Nora. And again, Lewis another 3 seconds behind. Oh no, they can't keep time, can they? And again, this is good as Maximilian Verstappen goes purple on a 137.9. Now for the complex of the championship going forward. This is good and bad, right? 25 points versus 18. 7 points delta. Oh, it's not enough, is it? It's not enough for Lando. He's going to rue the times when he's given away points. He needs to be gapping Max Verstappen in the driver's standing more than this. I liked it better with Logan around. Of course he did. Albon is having real competition from his teammates. Mate, he's not happy, is he, at all? 333 of you watching could currently do me a favour. And smahoosh. That's like, I like Alex, but he comes off as a bit of a soy boy too often. I hear you. I wouldn't necessarily use the soy boy terminology, but I see where you're going with that, Paisley. I don't understand why. Why does Lewis back out? That's not the Lewis I signed up for. Hassan, I agree with you. It's not 2007 though anymore, is it? 2024. Lewis is 39, soon to be 40 years old. It's a different Lewis Hamilton. The risk to reward calc is much quicker and obvious when you're 39 years old as versus when you're 29 or even 19, right? Just go for it and consequences be damned. Gap 2.9, 1.7 behind. Okay, so Lewis is being told the gap behind Delta. So it sounds like he's managing already. Okay, Daniel, top 4 cars pushing on underneath. Still a very tight group all the way up to P6. There's still money on the table for you, Danny Rick. Do you know what I mean? Go for it, chap. This is your final tour, sir. Go for it then. I agree with you on George, but he doesn't need George Russell to tell him. I agree. I hear you, but he's just giving the hurry up, right? George will try and maximise for every opportunity that's within his reach at every juncture. Without compunction, Lando will Lando into the wall. Behave yourself, Ronda L. The risk for Lando was always going to be early. He's so fast. I took a carbon part on my left side. Car looks fine. is what Brian Brosey tells Charles Leclerc. But again, Charles Leclerc, this is the difficulty. And I feel like this race thus far as the story that is Scuderia Ferrari, highlights the importance of qualifying. People say that DRS, if there are any consistent losses, Max, I would say it's turn 9 and turn 16 and 17. GP advising Maximilian Verstappen where we can make some lap time, where there's some wriggle room for potential upside. As far as, look, people want to say that this qualifying session is a bit of a nonsense. Ultimately, DRS nullifies it and makes qualifying less important. Are you having a giraffe? Look at Ferrari. Like Sainz and Charles Leclerc, by virtue of their material unforced errors in qualifying. Sainz a cheeky oversteer instance and Charles Leclerc a cheeky track infringement. They have no chance of winning this race. But for the racing gods smiling upon them properly, they've got no chance. Go qualifying, even as at the 22nd of the night of 2024, is still bloody important. Lando Norris over the radio. Okay, in which case we'd like to use a bit of that pace and try and get a 5-second gap to Max if possible by the mid-teens. Wow. Lando needs to get a gap to Max. Jeez. Let's go. 2.4 seconds in the delta between Messrs Norris in the race lead and Maximilian Verstappen in second place. This is chaos. We are on lap 8 with 55 remaining to go. And I'm nervous. This is chaos. But is Ada Velez? Behave yourself, Fisher. I don't rate him, but he's not that bad. Macon Hulk is hanging in there. Just FY what it's worth. How did Leclerc get back there? I think he capitalised on the start. He's only up one place though into 8th for Charles Leclerc. Colapinto is the biggest winner. I need to go back and see. And Perez, to be fair. And shout out to Checo Perez. You know, you've got to put on a Lance Stroll, by the way, has made it through, notwithstanding his insubstantial brake issues. I can't match that time, says Lewis. Doesn't have the time. Lewis is trying, but it's not there again, is it? That pace comes and goes. Brake balance 1%. More forwards than George. Just that info. Oh my gosh, so Lewis being told to tinker around with his brake bites just a tad. George's setup is the apex predator. Apparently Delaney in 5 laps. He's a sitting duck. Oh, Leclerc track infringement after quali. No. Leclerc, I don't think Leclerc had a track infringement after quali. It was during quali. During Q3, he had a super quick lap, but it got struck off. And that's why he ended up in 9th. Anthony V, let's go. Member for 2 months, and if you want to become a member, there's a button somewhere that says join. That will gain you eligibility. Enunciation is not my thing. It's too early in the morning. That will gain you access to obviously priority in the chat, and you will get some sexy emojis, and you will get access to the Discord where we continue these conversations. 521 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like, por favor. You're a legend, Antidivi. What team next year gets Colapinto? Audi. Sauber, soon to be Audi. 100%. We talked about it at the outset. I think to summarise, Colapinto, I think Christian Horner said a couple of races back that as far as Helmut Marko's comments around promising Checo Perez on the radio, you can see Colapinto is struggling. Let's have him. What Perez has just been told. Bloody Nora. Checo Perez on Colapinto. Should have him quickly, eh? Within DRS now. We're getting something of a DRS train developing from places 9 down to 13. It's getting techie out here, right? DRS train settings. As far as Christian Horner's comments on Liam Lawson, clarifying Helmut Marko saying that Liam Lawson would get a drive for 2025. Christian Horner says that's not necessarily a drive with a Red Bull racing team. I infer from that Christian's intention was to loan Liam Lawson out to a Sauber, soon to be Audi, and then they could keep Danny Rick for a little bit longer, or indeed promote somebody else. Isaac Hajar, again on the brink of F2 Championship, right? Now, however, because Colapinto's benefited for these fortuitous circumstances, of course a function of Logan Sargent's not insubstantial poor performance season to date. Colapinto's got to go somewhere, right? Colapinto will be well sought after, particularly if he can beat Alex Albon. I mean, F1 maths, Alex Albon isn't a bad peddler, but if Colapinto starts to outperform him, therefore, then he's going to be even more sought after than he is now. Colapinto will go to Audi next year. Plan B at the moment, Oscar Piastri looks like it is at the moment. Plan B, yeah, potentially go. Crofty's made a good read there. Go a little bit longer potentially as far as Oscar Piastri. Stuck behind, eh? What's he going to do? Stuck behind runners and riders. Lando Norris goes purple on a 136.715. Behind him, Maximilian Verstappen is 4.7 seconds. So 5 seconds, the delta that Lando was asked to smash out, he has smashed out over the course of 11 laps. That's some serious pace, eh? Half a second a lap. Bloody Nora, Lando. Where's his safety car, mate? At some point, I'll bring up the odds in a minute and calculate the probabilities, but I feel like 100%, not 100% probability, but the times that we've been at Singapore, I feel like there's always, or 90% of the time at least, there's a safety car. 4.8 seconds is the difference between your race lead and your second place. Lando Norris and Maximilian Verstappen respectively. Lewis Hamilton languishes, again another 5 seconds behind. He can't get pace out of that car, right? Cannot get pace out of that car, Sir Lewis. Behind him, 11.9, so another 2 seconds down the road is his teammate George Russell, first of his name. Therein comes Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Charles Leclerc, just having done a green lap time, Colapinto, and then Checo Perez. Danny Rick is in the pits already. That's early, that is. Lap 11. Wonder what he's going to put on. Mediums is the play. 2-stop potentially. Can't do mediums, so he's going to have to do, I think it's going to be a 2-stop around here. Lando is making it today. He's been brilliant all weekend. You guys heard me, dear. Not to pat myself on the back and call myself Nostradamus. Why? Because my crystal ball is as murky as the next person's. But we have been saying bet against Lando Norris at your... You know when I knew Lando was going to be tough to beat around here? Not quite yet, but I'd love to see Lewis undercut George and go to hards. Have them switch on. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. They did a lot of running time on the hards, didn't they? I don't know. I don't think this is the time to get too clever. The track circumstance is too demanding. Tsunoda says Perez and Colapinto are fighting. There could be something coming to us at some point. Are they predicting that Colapinto and Checo Perez could be colliding at some point? Colapinto's going to defend that with his life, isn't he? It's important. That's why. I think it's going to... Rick pits for new stuff. I think he's pit for new... No, he's pit... Danny Rick, bottom left of your screen. Pit for mediums just now. Oh, Albon in the pits. Let's go. Okay, so this is pit stop window. He's managed their tyres now. Going to start to see which one of these drivers has been prudent, therefore. And it's interesting that Alex Albon is, but I think that's a deliberate attempt at an undercut from Alex Albon. Put him out in some clean air and let him do some quick laps. Let's see where we can do. Hard tyres for Alex Albon, by the way. 51 laps remaining. 12 are in the books on the timer in case we get that far. 1 hour 40 minutes remaining, if indeed we get that far by virtue of a cheeky couple of safety cars. Right, get your safety car, out Cameron. F1. McBrundle saying he won't have a problem firing up the hard compound tyres. How does he know that? Based upon the simulation runs during free practice, right? They did a lot of them. A lot of them. I know, I didn't even get the Singapore Grand Prix. Bear with me. I need to get these odds. People complaining about tyres, you hearing this? I can't get the odds. I should have done them before. Basically, there's a high probability of a safety car around here. Why? Because it's a street circuit in essence. Super quick as well at points. There's going to be a safety car. It'll be Colapinto that causes it with Perez. That's what Yuki Tsunoda's engineer is telling him, eh? Oh, dang, 10-second delta between Lando and Lewis. Lando's just gapped everybody, Macon. He's running at a different level. Gian Lewis languishes on softs. He'll be in soon. I know. I think he'll be dropping off. He will be dropping off. Lewis getting told service stamp 37.8, 38.1 for George. Getting told the delta. The last lap times are the guy behind and the guy in front. I've got a push, says Carlos Sainz Jr. Bloody Nora. Zhou Guan Yu, can you see that cheeky message? Zhou Guan Yu language, mate. Nobody cares. Stop talking about language, FIA Mohammed Ben Sulaim. All right, we've got ourselves a bit of stasis and we can have a breather. Lando Norris, runners and riders. Good shout, Brundle. Oh, wow. Brundle's nailed that there. Brundle speaking to, and Lando overtaking as difficult as expected. Undercut power looks strong. Maybe 2 seconds. Roger that. Okay, so Lando potentially looking to pull an undercut on somebody. However, I think they're just going to cover off, right? He's got the 8-second delta between Norris and Verstappen now, so you can afford to cover. Although Brundle makes a salient point that he'll watch 30 seconds is the time needed to pit and come out still with track position. Hulkenberg is 22 seconds adrift of Lando Norris. If that gets up to 30 seconds, then they can bank themselves. Do you know what I mean? Go out or pit even, then come back out in front of Nico Hulkenberg. Carlos Sainz in the pits. Oh, I don't hate this. It's simmering. It hasn't bubbled and popped just yet, but it is simmering. There are stakes. Oi, oi, Cam. What's going on? Lando getting it done. I know he's not been bad. He's not all weekend. He's not been bad. We talked about this. Lando looks like a seasoned driver at this moment. About time. All that he needed to do, Macon, for this, like the critical success factor from one Lando Norris was going to be getting over the line in lap 1 in P1. This gap is good. No need to push. So Lando's now managing. He's been told to just manage tyres. Lando's ready to pit. Not yet. He's chilling. Oh wow, Carlos Sainz brought in to cover off the undercut of Alex Albon. This makes sense, ladies and gents. And he's come out, but Alex Albon has caught up at Carlos Sainz efficient to where he has access to the DRS, causing Carlos Sainz some chaos, right? Bro, one of you watching Kokoni, do me a favour and smash a like. Anthony V. Yes, Mike, I remember him doing that one stop in Australia last year when he pitted the penalty. Oh wow. Tyre whisper settings from Alex Albon. I remember that also. That's a fudge, right? That was like a sim racing strategy. They've got to change something. Pirelli, the rule, something's got to change. There's no way that should be beneficial for Alex Albon. About 2 holes on the left of that department. Copy. So again, it sounds like Lewis Hamilton's still tinkering around with brake bias potentially. I'm on GPS. We're on the next lap. Every lap. Copy. To go bold. Bold races available in 3R. Bloody Nora, 1.7, 1.7. Checo Perez being told the delta behind and in front. Telling Lando undercut looks like 2 seconds. Yeah, well, they would have tested it in real time. All they need to do is rewind back these metrics per our mates at Multiview and see how much time Alex Albon has gained right on Carlos Sainz Jr. He was away from memory. I want to say it was at least 3 seconds between them as far as the delta. At least. Lando in Dutch Grand Prix settings. Miami says he's not bad, Lando Norris. Do you know what I mean? When he can manage this, when he executes, when he gets out of his own way mentally, not a bad peddler. Brake temps are continuing to reduce so you can lift and coast if you wish, says K-Mag's engineer. Okay, we are thinking plan A. Thinking plan A plus 10. Do you think it's possible? Looking to go long is what Yuki Tsunoda's engineer is insinuating. And Lando, both safety car windows are open. You see them over communicating at McLaren. I don't hate it. Both safety cars are open. Copy that. So again, they're planning ahead. This is Andrea Stelli's imprint on this team now. Planning ahead, making sure that they have every eventuality covered. As Mercedes failed to do so famously in Abu Dhabi 21. Oh, the humanity. We're going to talk about that. Probably not. Telling Lando Dutch, yeah. Kyori fit. What's Kyori saying? I've missed it. Kyori, you bored already? No, it's stakes. It's stakes. I'd stay tuned. It's not chaos. But remember, last week's race wasn't blood and guts, but there were stakes and it was similar. You know what I mean? We need to see who's going to be. Like, you need to be dialed in to see who's going to win. And for now, it looks like Lando's got it nailed. But mate, it only takes a safety car to change all that. You know what I mean? We've seen it before. Rick overtakes Alex Albon. Albon issues. Go on, let's have a look. Oh yeah, Alex Albon overtook. It's a good shout that. Yeah, he's dropping like a stone, isn't he? What's going on there? Keen to see what Alex Albon 86.2. Alex Albon does have an issue. Let's have a gander. I need to see what. No communication, no. But he is. Oh yeah, Alex Albon is in the pit. He has himself an issue. Great spot there. I didn't even see it. Lazy mini DRS rear wing to. No, they haven't got it. They've carried it. McLaren have carried a different rear ring here. It's not the same one as Baku. Baku was a low downforce iteration of their rear wing. David, if it... retirement, said Ted Kravitz. Alex Albon turns off the car. He's out. You won't be loving that. And of course, Ted Kravitz saying Singapore Grand Prix is very important to Alex. It's the closest thing that he has to a home race. Him being an Anglo tie, as they say. Lando says, how are the tyres? Yeah, all good. Or Lando's engineer says, how are the tyres? Lando responds, all good. Fairly consistent at the minute. Carlos Sainz saying, as for the tyres, are you pushing a bit too much in turn 10? Managing a bit more in turn 10, please. Matthew, you're an absolute legend, sir. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Well, this race is going as predicted. That rear wing ban didn't make much difference. Very good shout, and something that we need to give some colour to. McLaren built an RB19, and Narby somehow built RB somehow built a W13, of course referring to the Mercedes, the zero pod concept that just didn't work. I have little to no faith in the RB update in Austin. Shocking. I wouldn't be so pessimistic, Matthew. Look, I mean, I tell you how you know about, if you want to talk about Red Bull's competence or lack thereof sometimes, their ability to turn around this setup with this retrograde mishmash hybrid of a floor. I mean, in free practice, Max Verstappen was nowhere, right? And now look, all of a sudden fending off quite nicely one Hamilton that Lewis is. Lando Norris currently leading. Look at that gap, 12 seconds. All right, here's the hit, and Lando, be careful braking that late into turn 14. Lewis is in the pits. Let's go. Go on then, all eyes on Lewis's pit stop. Tell me 2 seconds something, please, Mercedes. Can we not like regress and start doing like 3 and 4 second pit stops again? All eyes on Lewis Hamilton's pit stop. Well, let's have a look at the time. I'm going to lose my SH12 if they... Quick pit stop, 2 seconds something. Take that. 2.5, I'll have some of that, Mercedes. Congratulations, boys and girls from Brackley and Brixworth. I don't hate that. 2.5, mate, and I'll have that. I'll have that. Wow, gap. Yeah, he's gone. That would be normal. So reset your switches. Close with Gasly. Close with Gasly. Remember that on the line. Oh yeah. He got out just in front of. Mercedes has been good on pits. 2.5 season average. I'll take it, Chiba. I'll take it, but I'm still I don't know. I'm still an AB victim as far as Mercedes. So bad have they been for so long as far as their pit stops. Now I'll take it, Chiba. I agree. They've not been too bad, but do you know what I mean? It's about bloody time is what I mean to say. Albon damage or mechanical. It wasn't damage. I think it was mechanical. So Hamilton has pitted in midfield traffic now. Max, keep going for the moment. Good job on the brakes. Charles Leclerc. Yeah, but they react completely differently now. Charles Leclerc struggling with brakes. Everybody's struggling with brakes. Cooling the brakes. Cooling the tyres. Cooling the car. This is a temperature, a chaos as far as managing the temps in this Singapore Grand Prix, right? Let's have a look at what they are at the moment. Bloody no, track temps 35.8, air temps, even though it's night time, 31.0, humidity 75, wind coming up from south. I had a people janky, what's he on about? And now follow the dash. Peter gets a low penalty. What's going on with that? McLaren's still talking in this weird papaya coded language. Okay, so science is into traffic. Sometimes I don't know. Right, let's go. Oh, B96 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour and smash the like. Currently, we're a bit draggy as far as our like concurrent viewers coefficient, aren't we? Bit draggy. Much like the W13 back in the day. The Mercedes one, you know, the one 2022 that didn't work. Please, no, I say all that to say this. Do me a favour and smash the like because it helps a lot. Right, what are we doing here? Runners and riders, therefore. Lando no wins, 13 seconds down the road. Wow. Over 20 laps. That's more than half a second, right? That's like 0.6, 0.7. What? 0.65 a lap? Mate, that is some serious pace. So What a shame for Lando that he wasn't enjoying this pace delta earlier on in the season. Or so some may argue, some may say that McLaren have been wasteful given how material their time delta is over the rest of the field as far as their car advantage. Lando currently leading your Grand Prix with 43 laps remaining. Maximilian Verstappen in second. In third, you've got George Russell with Lewis Hamilton having pitted. Getting techie, ladies and gents. Oof. Ted Kravitz hypothesizing that potentially this might be as good a time as anyone. Yeah, it's bonkers. Ted Kravitz talking the truth here, hypothesizing it might be time for Oscar to try a cheeky undercut on King George Russell, first of his name. Why? Well, because he's got the same bloody car as Lando Norris. We've seen how good Oscar can be. Do you know what I mean? We've seen how good that car is in the hands of Lando Norris. So get a move on Oscar. Do you know what I mean? Lando's bought himself some options. And again, speaking to the point that Martin of lower lap times made in our chat last week, Lando, by virtue of performances like this, there's no decision to make on team orders, right? Go out there and nail it. Do everything that you can. Get to turn one, lap one first. Finish lap one in first position. And then there is no decision for McLaren to make about team orders, is there? Lando, Oscar is thinking about undercut to George Russell, so that might trigger things behind, giving him all the information that he needs, over communicating. I don't hate this thus far from McLaren, the papaya coloured team with their papaya coloured rules. Matthew, you're far too kind, sir. I hear what you're saying, Cam, but it took them this long to even find the source of the core problem. When they bring updates, they've amounted to nothing. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But they are working. They didn't become a bad team overnight, Matthew. This isn't me telling you that you need to have faith in them. I understand your pessimism, absolutely, and it's within reason. But I would counter you. It's still Red Bull. It's still Red Bull. They can still build a car. They still have this operational excellence that they can tap into, don't they? They do. They'll be all right. I mean, then plus he's got that big bloody. What's the difference in the driver standings? Damage limitation settings. Remember, from Maximilian Verstappen, and he's managing that quite well, isn't he? Norris currently race lead, 15 seconds down the road. Bloody Nora, 15 seconds down the road, having completed 21 laps. What is going on there? That's chaos. You're one of the earliest stoppers, not the earliest, is what they're telling Lewis Hamilton, to which he responds, the stint was way too short. Well, come on, Lewis, you've got to tell them if you think it's way too short. What are you doing? Guys, excuse me, man, I'm struggling out here. I think I do have allergies. But you know where Johanna was right. Lando over the radio. Lando, wow. Lando being told, for our race, we just want to go as long as possible. All that we want to do as a mission critical one is make sure that we're not the first one to pit. Ergo, make sure you're looking after your tyres. Lewis Hamilton told we're flexible and anything. We're looking at options. Bloody Nora, it's getting chaotic out here. 434 if you're watching concurrently. Only, however, 138 likes. Put some respect on the channel's name. Do you know what I mean? Go on, runners and riders. So what is developing here, Ray? Who's going to move first? Who blinks first and comes into the pits? This is where it gets techie. I think the longer that they go, the more that... Are they going to one stop and do 40 plus laps on hard tyres? Is that even an option? It's techie, this. I think Lewis is definitely going to have to come in pit again, having done the first stint on the hards. But the guys who are still on mediums are running long, eh? Depending on how long those mediums can go for, one stop might come into play, although it would be a stretch. Colapinto still fending off one Checo Perez. This is what we're talking about, right? Colapinto, imagine. All of a sudden, nobody even knew his name a couple of races ago. And then all of a sudden, the guy has made a case for being an F1 driver as soon as next year. What are we doing? Proper? Probably can hear. Can you hear my little man going crazy downstairs? I'm coming. Jen, told you, man. You need to cut out. You know what, Jen? You're not wrong. I just got an allergy test, and it is all sugars, yeast. Sugar is gone, Jen. Bad enough. I think I need to sort out this room as well. I think it's a bit dusty. Mold and yeast, and apparently there's a lot of yeast in like sugary drinks and oh my god. What are we doing, Jen? Sorry, it was you that Jen that told me, not you, Anna. I misquoted. Chiba, you're a legend. I think that's Chiba. Long overdue there. The line in Mercedes have ended Lewis Hamilton's race. He sounds like it the way he's talking. I feel like I've lost the rear downforce. Okay, copy. We're having a look. Nothing that we can see with the car wrong. Lewis is in his negativity bag, isn't he? Oscar complaining about the crosswind. Had the wind changed directions? Let's have a look at it. How's the wind changed direction? Yeah, now coming in from the southwest. Subtle change, but a change nevertheless. Track temps coming down now, 36 degrees, 30.8 ambiance. We think that might just be surface temps here, so everything's changing. So this is the problem that they have to manage for, right, these drivers. It's changing in real time. It's one of those surfaces and temperature conditions. Yeah, look at them all cursing. Science saying this is frustrating. Again, Science is being holed up, isn't he? Oh my gosh, behave yourself. The one person that you don't want to be tucked behind is Fernando Alonso. Sorry, it's Charles Leclerc moaning. Mate, you can't be holed up behind Fernando Alonso. Do you know what I mean? That's your race finished unless you get a safety car and a cheeky pit stop, an undercut or an overcut. Lando just got to give the picture behind. Verstappen 18.3 seconds. That's the delta that we have in hand. Then Russell and Oscar together at 30.0 seconds. Bloody Nora. Lando's got this in hand, hasn't he? 30.3, they're right. 30.3, 30.15. Charles Leclerc, mate, you got to overtake. Alonso is going to keep you there behind all race, chap. This is the narrative, right? Fernando Alonso, when he gets an opportunity like this, please see Brazil on Checo Perez a couple of years ago. He takes it, keen to make headlines, right? DAZN, again, very well acquainted with one Fernando Alonso, man from Oviedo, Asturias. When that happens, you know what I mean? He just makes sure that he's going to optimize. You're not going past him. You're going to have to go great guns, Charles. Do something, Charles Leclerc, aka modern day journalist. Lando suggests backing off at turn 8 and 9 a little bit. Oh no. Oh no, look at that. Carlos Sainz Jr. undercuts his teammate, modern day journalist. Why? Well, because Alonso's costing him. This is Carlos Sainz's ability to read a race in real time, mate. Look at you need 30 seconds if you're going to come in and pit. Currently, the delta between Leclerc and Carlos Sainz Jr. is now less than 30 seconds. Let's go. 22 seconds. God, Carlos. Yeah, that's the target he's told Carlos Sainz Jr. Priority is still time management to the end. Priority is also to pass. Charles Leclerc told, tinker with your diffs, mate. We need more power. Warp speed, did you know what I mean? 38 laps remaining. This race has been all right, not gangbusters. You know, we were blessed last race in Azerbaijan. That was a generational type one, a massive fight, facha between Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri. Both of him could be the next ones. Hamilton has managed to pass some cars, but he's the same gap ahead of your pit stop as immediately after his pit stop. Lewis has managed to pass some cars, hasn't he? Up into 11th. Your runners and riders, therefore, Lando and Norris currently leading dominant. Look at that. 20 seconds. Oh, put 20 seconds on Max Verstappen's name with 37 laps. That's bonkers. George Russell in third. Again, 32 seconds adrift of the race lead. Oscar Piastri, similar delta. Is he within DRS? Oscar is indeed within DRS of one George Russell, so pay attention to that. Thereafter, Hulkenberg in 5th, Alonso in 6th, holding up on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc getting super frustrated, eh? He's in DRS, but he can't do anything. Got to sit there and get Fernando. Oh, he's done it. Don't talk too soon. Commentators curse. Let's go. Charles Leclerc missed the beginning. How did SLF? Sir Lewis. Oh, let me just see. I just want to see the visual of Charles Leclerc's pass because Alonso pitted, of course. Of course. Oh, Lewis. Oh, Lewis goes deep on Tsunoda. Oh. Desperate. Yeah, he was super late. Very desperate. Alonso's pitted. Okay, fine. Over to you now, Charles. Let's look at the delta. So the narrative here is the gap between the Scuderia pairing guy up. Carlos Sainz now up into a bit of... No, he's not up into a bit of free air at all. 71.8 is the delta between the race lead and Carlos Sainz Jr. 50 seconds. Mate, he's got 21 seconds. He's got 9 seconds in hand. Charles needs to get a move on here, but he's straight. No clear air. I suppose this is the problem around this track, right? When you get this bloody DRS train, and then that's when you get nothing going on. Tyres are dropping off, says Lewis Hamilton. Yep, that's in second gear. Oh, gosh. Temperatures are hot, but we're not losing performance, says Pierre Gasly. This is getting techie, ladies and gents. I'm keen. It's the Ferrari pairing that I want to see how that plays out. So Lewis, to your question, candidate. He had a cheeky look around the outside of Max Verstappen, but nothing doing. I think in retrospect, he was wise to back out. It was a wedge that was always going to close, but nevertheless, again, if it were Lewis Hamilton of 2007, the outcomes would have been different. Maximilian Verstappen complaining about tyres. Yeah, my jaw just kind of fired because I got too grippy. What's that about? Max offset, should it be too long? Right. Delaney Lewis on 0.5. I know he's trying desperately, isn't he? No one can overtake. You've got to be a demon around here and have delta in hand. How did Lewis end up where he is? Early pit stop. Started on softs, candidate. So he had to pit earlier than everybody else. All those who started around him, Max and Lando, started on mediums. Let's have been able to go longer. Lewis pitted early because his tyres fell off. Tried a thing on softs. Anthony V, what's the pit window time now? Cam, do you know Lando maybe come out in the pits? Let's have a gander. Should know this off the top of my head, but I don't know. Mexican standoff. Nobody wants to pit first. Going long. Who can look after their tyres better, eh? Interesting. Because as soon as you pit, you're going to end up in some sort of traffic is the thing, right? That's just the way it is. There is no clear air around this track. Here is George, right. On paper, between laps 21 and 27, what are we now? Yeah, so they're all going long, anticipate. So yeah, they're going to start to come in en masse. But they're all going long and trying to take advantage of a cheeky discounted pit stop if indeed there is a safety car, right? No safety car just yet, but I imagine, without checking, that the probability of safety car is high around here, especially early on in the race, right? Yeah, so the plan for Lewis will be to go to the end on these hard tyres, but he's going to struggle. Yeah, one stopping apparently is the optimum. Anywhere between 21 and 37. 21 if you start on the softs, but Lewis went much earlier. Oof. Oof. This is the race. Let's go. Message over to the sabotage, says Russ. Oski can still get P3. Come on. I don't know. He's not enjoying it. Somebody said in the comments, actually, it's a brilliant comment, that when they get upgrades on the car, genuinely, the week that they bring a lot of upgrades, it's almost like the upgrades lean more towards Lando than they do Oscar. Not to say that Oscar doesn't get the upgrades, But the upgrades bring the handling dynamic away from that McLaren more towards Lando than they do towards Oscar. And that's why some say Oscar struggles. Like the race, the first race when they bring the upgrades, because he's having to adopt his style. Ever so slightly, GR in the pits seemed fast. Lewis finally. Oof, 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 oof. Charles Leclerc got some progress. All right then, go on then, Charles. As you were, chap, up into 4th place. Now, Charles Leclerc has himself some clean air, but he's on the end of that stint, right? 54 seconds is the delta between him and the race lead, which is chaos. Absolute chaos, having only done 29 laps. And then behind him, Carlos Sainz is another 23 seconds down the road. So Charles Leclerc needs to make that 23 seconds 30 seconds. He's going to expect some purple laps from Charles Leclerc if indeed he harbours aspirations and being able to pit and come out ahead of his teammate. The man from Madrid, Carlos Sainz Jr. Piastri is catching him by 0.5 a lap. Oh no. Lando says front wing damage. No, Lando. No front wing damage, please. You can't once again seize defeat from the jaws of victory. No. Max is in the pits. Let's go. Okay, 22.7 is the delta. All right, so he's racing Hulkenberg, isn't he? Critical then that Max comes out in front of Hulkenberg, who is about 32 seconds down the road from him before he came in. Oh, he needs to come out of Hulkenberg, doesn't he? There we go. There's the green lap from Charles Leclerc that we're expecting. Hulkenberg comes in the pits as well. Okay, so everybody's coming in now. That's triggered. That's a massive domino effect from Maximilian Verstappen. Everybody's coming in the pit. Bloody Nora. Colapinto in. Hulkenberg in. Verstappen comes out. Oh, Charles Leclerc ends up in front of Maximilian Verstappen. Wow. Oh, dear. That's not bueno. No, not good from Maximilian Verstappen there. Now he's behind the slow Ferrari. Come on then. All eyes on Carlos Sainz Jr. 74 seconds down the road. Charles is gaining. He's gapping his teammate, but not at the lick that he needs to, with 53 laps on the docket remaining even. Lando, we're going to suggest box this lap. All right, Lando sets up. Lando's boxing this lap. Verstappen's pitted. All right, so Lando, they've done the right thing. None of this nonsense what they did to Piastri last race. Box him straight away. Cover him off. You've got so much lap time in hand. There's no need to do anything sexy or clever. Just box him. And box him properly, Lando. No less than 3 seconds for this. Front wing looks fine, says Ted Kravitz. No damage. But they got time in hand. Nice and calm. Just fit the tyres properly. No, oh, that's very secky. 2.2 something that from Lando's team. Very, very quick pit stop. Now, as Max Verstappen puts one up the inside of Charles Leclerc, we don't get the time of the pit stop, but that was a quick one, eh? That might have been like low 2 seconds, eh? 2.1, 2.2. I'm guesstimating. If my eye, no, not much damage. No need for a front wing change. I want to see the time of that pit stop, you know. I think that was really quick. How's the time, says Oscar Jack Piastri. Lando comes out and retains. Wow, retains. Look at that. Comes out on hards. That's a one-stopper from Lando. Comes out on hards. And look, 2.8 seconds down the road from Oscar Piastri still. That's Lando. That's Lando. I just hit that hard. Yeah, it's okay. I struggled a bit with the right over there, but not too bad. Oscar Piastri struggling with the bloody Nora. Oscar's just dominant. Not Oscar, sorry. Lando's just super dominant around here with 32 laps remaining. Again, if past his prologue this race weekend, it was always going to happen, eh? Grand Slam, leading Norris. If he can get the fastest lap and get that extra point, then that wouldn't be bad for him. Although what he could do with ideally is somebody else getting into the mix, right? He could deal with Lando Norris. I'm talking about here. Lando, Max is not pleased. Max thinking that he's been undercut. Brundle makes the correction now. Then he hasn't actually been undercut. He thinks he's lost race position. Oof, look at him going up the inside of Charles Leclerc. I don't mind the cheeky ding dong between Messrs Leclerc and Verstappen. I mean, give us something to look at for a while, eh? Right. Let's go. I see a huge issue with the McLaren front wing. Oh no! No, not a huge issue. Not a huge issue, lazy. Don't dummy like that. We're just outside the safety car window for Piastri ahead, is what GP tells Maximilian Verstappen. 452 if you're watching Caconia. Do me a favour and smash the like. Papaya is the fruit of the race so far. Yeah, no, Lando Norris, when he's like this, he's hard to beat. I'm telling you. He's got pace for days spare. Look at that. Some may say he's probably the quickest on the grid. Even quicker than Charlotte. No, I don't know about that. That might be reaching a bit too far. Just a bit too far there. There at Mad Max making purple sectors. Let's have a gander. Having a look at the replay of Lando Norris. Did Lando touch the wall? Oh my gosh. Lando, stop! Mate, you got like 200 seconds in hand and you're out braking yourself. Now you've got a flat spot. You're very, very lucky, Lando. Nearly had to put that in reverse, chap. What's he doing? Race control, investigating Gasly, Hulkenberg incident. Bloody Nora. All right, Max. Why is he doing that, Macon? That's just attention span, isn't it? I need a bit of encouragement, mate. Yeah, firm. Traction looking really good. Imagine George Russell, first of his name, saying that I need a bit of encouragement. Consider the brake balance is what Oscar Piastri's been told. Russell is coming up behind. Leclerc could be an opportunity. Oof. Encouragement. It's a weird phrase, that, eh? Leclerc being told these laps are crucial. Keep driving like this. Crucial. Why? Because, again, he's got to try and gap. He's 20 seconds. Carlos Sainz is nailing him. He's never going to come out behind. He's going to come out behind Carlos. Oh, I see. They're not even looking at Carlos there. They're looking at Fernando Alonso. That's who he needs to come out in front. If he doesn't come out ahead of Alonso, his race, Charles Leclerc's race, modern day Journalese, is finished. Currently, the delta between Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso is circa 25 seconds. Oof. Oh, wow. Piastri matching it. Oh, yeah. And then Piastri, similar thing. The undercut that Lewis is looking to successfully pull off on Oscar Piastri. Again, the delta between them is 30 seconds, Crofty. A little bit less, mate. 29 to be precise. 28 seconds is the delta that you lose, says Crofty. So he has got a pit stop over Hamilton, but not for too much longer, Ray. He's got to be careful there. They need to pit Oscar. I know. Can you imagine if they left him out to the point where he loses it again? Oscar, even as stoic and as mature and sensible as that chap is. "28 seconds. Doing the maths out here. 28, 34. Yeah, he's got 1.5 seconds in hand. But don't put more pressure than him than necessary. Like, if you're Oscar, like, what are they doing? Yuki Tsunoda in the pits. Crafty reckons that Piastri might need to pit at the end of this lap. I think he's got time in hand, but they don't want to leave it too late. 7 seconds adrift. The gap between Piastri, 28 seconds. Oh my gosh, it's 28. Lewis and Oscar. It's going to be Monza 2021 again when Oscar comes out the pit. Bang in line, 28 seconds. Look at that. You might have 0.8 in hand, Oscar Piastri. By the time he comes up, why would they do that? Always out there sabotaging Oscar Piastri for no reason. Do you know what I mean? If I were Mark Webber, I'd be having words right now with Zach Brown and Andrea Stella. Sabotage. Perez is definitely not helping the case to him, mate. Perez is 10th. I mean, what are we doing, Checo? And I know I can't be too down on Checo because it's hard when your old man's just going for all this health stuff, but It's not done. It's not done. What? We're tempted to stay out, they tell Oscar, but that would mean that you need to overtake Hamilton. What did they do? Like, what? Nonsense. Sabotage again of Oscar Piastri. Why leave him out? Nonsense Benzines. I don't understand. Peddling the rise of throttle bacon. How rude. It just makes no sense at all whatsoever now. I just don't understand. What are they smoking at McLaren? Going to leave him out to overtake around at a track where there's no overtaking to be done? Haven't you seen Fernando Alonso and the mayhem that he's just caused to Charles Leclerc? What are we doing here? You said boring race, says Chiba. No, I hear you, Chiba. But again, we were just spoiled last race, weren't we? And this was never going to be as good as that Singapore. It's more of a physical challenge than an emotional one. Strategy race. I don't hate it, lazy. Sabotage Piastri. Again, why are they doing one? He's going to pit, and when's that going to happen? Give me tyre to tyre action. I know, I wouldn't mind it. Trying to fend off Merck. No reason is that. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I don't understand what the point is. Maybe they're looking forward and not looking backwards, but I just don't know. Makes no sense. I don't see the upside of going long. Oof. Oof. Shall not have it from George. All right, your runners and riders with 27 laps remaining. Lando Norris dominating. Dominating. Let's do our pace. Let's focus on our rhythm to the end. Carlos Sainz Jr.'s team radio. Russell's losing time behind Leclerc as well. I'll skip this then. He's good. Lando Norris currently leading the race. Dominant. 10 seconds behind him is Oscar Jack Piastri, needing to come into pit imminently. So where's he going to come out when he pits? 28 seconds adrift. Currently, he's going to come out behind Lewis Hamilton. Why they've done that, I have no idea. Potentially safety car, a discounted... Yeah, there we go. A discounted safety car pit stop is what they're looking for. Again, every single time that we've come to this Grand Prix, this track, there has been a safety car. So he's passed this prologue. Expect one to happen over the next 27 laps. But of late, you know that we've been breaking records as far... There hasn't been a safety car for something like 7 races, right? Record-breaking settings. To complete your runners and riders, Charles Leclerc in 4th. And again, the risk for him is that when he comes in next, he's going to come out behind. Is he going to come out behind Fernando Plan Alonso? Doing the maths out here. No, he'll be fine. He'll come out before. The race is between Charles Leclerc, 34 seconds adrift to the lead, and one Carlos Sainz. And look how he's nailed it. Charles Leclerc's put in some... There we go, Charles. How about them apples? Reminiscent of Michael Schumacher, who's banged out the lap times. And now he's got 24 seconds between himself and Carlos Sainz Jr., which gives him... Oh no, Sainz has banged him. Sorry. Getting too excited. I thought Charles Leclerc had turned into Michael Schumacher then, but he's not going to. He's going to come out behind Alonso, behind Carlos Sainz, and potentially behind Hulkenberg. Oh no. Oh no, there goes Alonso. I thought he'd done it, but maths was noddy. Where's he coming out? Is he going to now Hulkenberg? That's important. You don't want to... No. In front of Hulkenberg. Charles Leclerc rejoins the track in 8th position. Fair play, Charles. You know what I mean? But Carlos Sainz Jr. is the biggest winner in this. Understanding the assignment and that track position is priority. With 26 laps remaining, the Singapore Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri of the radio. It's getting a bit tricky now, mate. Your tyres are falling off. That's why. Been out there how many laps now? 36 on one set of tyres. Bloody Nora, Oscar. Like, what's going on here, Matt? It's not cricket, that isn't. Charles Leclerc finds himself behind Alonso. No chance, mate. To save a dying puppy, there is no way in hell that over the course of the next 25 laps, unless Fernando Alonso has a mistake or falls foul of some reliability issues, Charles Leclerc will not get around Fernando Alonso. It will need another 20 DRS zones, not 4. No chance. Fernando Alonso, put some respect on his name. For I might actually have a good race on their hands. I don't know, Nate. I don't think so. In Carlos Sainz Jr.'s hands, maybe, but not in the rest. I think Charles Leclerc is doomed. That this will be his lot, won't it? Unless Fernando Alonso pits again, or unless we have ourselves a cheeky safety car. If you don't smash the like, Kevin Magnussen will kick your door in. Pope, you're a proper legend, mate. That's a comment worthy of a cheeky blue spanner, methinks. Let's get the blue spanners going. Do you know what I mean? Let's get the blue spanners. I feel safety car soon, says Miami. There could be a safety car, but you just can't. I don't know. Past this prologue, you'd expect one, but sometimes the racing gods can just be cheeky for no reason, just fancy difference. Pierre Gasly on his way in. Sky Sports getting confused again. I mean, this has been nothing. Piastri, there he is. Where's Piastri going to filter out? There is the problem. 25 seconds is the diff. It sounds like he's going to come out behind. Slow stop. Slow stop from Gasly. Where's Piastri going to come out though? That's the key. Yeah. Is Piastri going to come out ahead of Mr. Sir Lewis Hamilton? Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. Quick pit stop said no. Oh no, Oscar behind one Sir Lewis Hamilton. So can Lewis therefore get to the end? What? Did Crofty just say he's jumped the 2 Mercedes? He's not jumped the 2 Mercedes, Crofty, you numpty. Correct him, Martin Brundle. What are we doing? Right, that's it. All bets are off. I'm cancelling my Sky Sports subscription. Back to back, they've been, like, honestly, Harry Benjamin making a gazillion mistakes last race weekend. The brilliant race weekend, by the way. And now Crofty's telling me that Oscar Piastri has jumped the 2 Mercedes. When my timesheet, courtesy of Multiview, is telling me the contrary. That no, what's happened is that he's slotted back out behind both Messrs. Russell, King George first of his name, and Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. When we're talking about photography for God tier tyre details, BW, I'll have a look. Miami. I'll take it. Is that on Twitter, Miami? BW. Yeah, Crofter. What's he on about, Coyote? And you know what the joke is? As soon as he says that, I'm like, that doesn't sound right, Crofty. You're doing a Harry Benjamin and telling me again that my eyes aren't working. No, I can see what's going on here. You're talking about. Go on then, your runners and riders with 23 laps only remaining. Lando Norris dominating this Grand Prix. In fact, to be fair to him, put some respect on his name. He's been dominant all race weekend, apart from a cheeky lock-up moment. Never been in doubt, apart from the first lap. That was the big challenge, and that was the mission critical task for Lando Norris. 22.9 seconds down the field from one Maximilian Verstappen, 3 soon to be 4-time champion potentially, some say. Thereafter, Messrs. Russell and Hamilton. Piastri's nailed Lewis Hamilton. What's gone on there? Oh no! Lewis Hamilton's tyres must be falling off, man. Down into 5th position. Oscar Piastri nails Lewis for 4th. Fudge. Oh, to be a Lewis Hamilton fan, like, what's God? Oh my gosh. Up. Yeah, George, can we need to see a crash happen? It is DC comment for channel 4. Podium looking like Norris, Verstappen, Piastri. So they're saying, why are we waiting? Piastri is much faster than Lewis. He made it work. I'm not loving that at all. That Lewis is just a sitting duck, couldn't even fight Oscar Piastri. That's not cricket. We don't want to see that. Oh, this is true. Sonoda asking why has Danny Rick not let him through different strategies? Well, because Danny Rick's, do you know what I mean? This is Danny Rick's last meal. He's never gonna let you through, mate, ever. Consequences be damned if indeed this is his last race, and if indeed they're going to replace him with Liam Lawson by Cota. Yuki, stay calm, mate. Yuki, I tell you what we're doing. We close up and then we swap. We close up, then we swap, to which Yuki responds, yeah, but the tyre damage. Oh, Yuki has to realise that every time he has an outburst like this, and I understand it, like I've been I understand why he's fuming. But as far as Helmut Marko, if you put on your Marko and your Christian Horner cap, they'll be looking at this saying, well, listen, this is him being... We told him to relax himself. We've told him under the mentorship of Danny Rick to calm down. This is exactly the reason why we can't promote him to Red Bull Racing. That's what they'll be saying to him. He needs to relax himself. Jeez, what a stinker. Do you not find Anthony so beige? Anthony Davidson is a bit better. But he's got I could tell some stories about Anthony, you know, but I'm not going to. Thinks he's a bit better than he actually was as far as a driver. Yuki Tsunoda. All right, okay. Yuki Tsunoda. Danny Rick complies. Ever the team player, Danny Rick, even in his final tour. Just lets him go. Make up. I need to get some more input, but I'm not very good, you know what I mean? I do like this knowledge. Just his tone sends me to sleep. I feel like keeps his eyes open. I like what he says. I know some people, here we go. Here's the next one, Liam Lawson. Having a look at Danny Rick. Keep my car safe, mate. Keep it out the barrier, because that's my seat, is what Liam Lawson is saying. Russell being caught by Oscar Piastri. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Commentators curse. Charles Leclerc's got round Fernando Plan Alonso. How very dare you? And goes purple. Again, now it's Scuderia Ferrari pair racing on track. How very dare you, Cameron, talk so negatively about Charles Leclerc. I didn't think you'd get round Fernando Plan Alonso. What's going on then? Cam, can you do a match? No, I could not. I could not. And I need some practice, Yanni. This should be the last race for Daniel. It will be the last race for Daniel. Have it on good authority. Christian Horner's told us as much. So too has Danny Rick. So too has Yuki Tsunoda. So too Liam Lawson. That strategy abysmal each and every single time, Stanis. Do you know what I mean? Same old, same old. When the sabotage Piastri, you know Piastri will present the bill in the coming race. I hope. Oh wow. Order from Ferrari telling them to swap position. Sainz needs to defend or vacate. Give the position, because Charles Leclerc is quicker than you. Different strategies. Carlos Sainz isn't going to be doing that. He's not going to want to do that, is he? 20 laps remaining. Oh, look at that. You can see Carlos isn't having it. Whiter, there he is. Just done it now. Because Carlos Sainz, I was going to say Carlos Sainz is looking to defend because he's clipping. There you go. Let's him go. Go on then, Charles. Have a word. Wow. This is the truth. Bundle makes the point. Charles Leclerc. Oh, look at Charles. He's on it, eh? Just keep that on board for the remaining 20 laps. Charles Leclerc is on it. Again, driving angry because he doesn't like the fact that, again, on the downside impact of some bad luck or some unforced errors, depending on which side of the fence you're sitting. In quali, I mean, he would have been right there with Norris potentially. Look at that space. Oh, wow. Brundle says if Piastri can clear. Look at that, Piastri purple. That's why they left him out for so long, right? Trying to get second, and Maximilian Verstappen is going to be a tall order. Why? Because catching is one thing. Passing, per the immortal Murray Walker, is something completely different. Piastri P3. Go on then. Let's get a cheeky. If you keep this pace, you should catch Hamilton before the end, is what Charles Leclerc is being told. Oscar P3, maybe P2. Oof. Oof. So now we've got stakes all of a sudden. Go on then. Let's get a cheeky poll out. Oscar finishes where? You guys let me know where you think Oscar finishes in the poll. And then we'll get a cheeky driver of the day vote out. Been an interesting one. It's simmered and there's still stakes. The things that need to keep you watching through to the end are something like this. Now, Oscar Piastri, how far can he get up? You guys let me know in the poll where you think Oscar's going to finish. Charles Leclerc too, looking to have a cheeky nibble of one Lewis Hamilton. When it's strategy offsets and undercuts, it always ends up like this, doesn't it? Right, let's go. Oh, there we go. Lando. So they're talking about Lando pulling out another gap. Another bit of gap and then pitting to get the extra point. Which could seem fairly well towards the end of the season, eh? That would be his 8 points. So what's the gap? The gap in the driver's standing, 56. 59 points. 447 of you watching. Kokori, do me a favour, smash a like. I'm trying to do some very basic maths here. After this race, 7 races left, right? Oh, he's gonna need. He needs 8.4. He needs to catch Max at a rate of 8.4 points per race. It's a lot. So that's more than, assuming that Max finishes second every single race. Oof, Piastri nails George Russell. Let's go. All right then, Houston, we have ourselves a problem. If indeed your name is Maximilian Verstappen and you want to take yourself second step of the podium, eh? You think Lando will take the risk of a bad pit stop and lose the race? He who dares wins sometimes, Ron. He can't afford to give up any more points. I think he has to. King George Russell defending causes contact, yellow flag potentially. That would scream over. Imagine he pitted and then the safety car came out. Then that would be an issue. As we are 17 laps remaining of this 62 lap Singapore Grand Prix. Your runners and riders, Lando Norris dominant all weekend, still leads this Grand Prix to Maximilian Verstappen second to the tune of 24 seconds as nearest makes no difference. Oof, still consistent. Ted Kravitz. Yeah, Ted Kravitz saying that Maximilian Verstappen's still nailing it. Still super quick. Oh, wow. Checo over a second slower per lap, stuck behind Nico Hülkenberg than his teammate Maximilian Verstappen. Go on then, Oscar. Let's get at it. Oh, yeah. The constructors is done now, right? Checo Perez is dropping the... They're going to have a chat with Checo. Again, it would be poor form to get rid of Checo in this break between Singapore and Kota. However, sometimes... You know what I mean? I know his dad's fallen upon hard times and heart attack settings. I understand that. And it wouldn't be great. It'd be poor form if Red Bull did it now. But, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do, really? Do you want to win a championship or do you want to be United Colours of Benetton or UNICEF? What do you want to do? Perez is in this race. And though lazy, who knew? Hunting time for Oscar, says Pope. Gian Tsunoda is in the way. No, Dudub, let's go. I can't. Colapinto. Go on, where's Albon's out? I forgot. Colapinto in 11th. Imagine if Colapinto gets up into 10th and gets more points. He'll need some good fortune, though. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much for sure. It's a good shout. Max has put the hammer down because the stakes isn't there. What he doesn't want. Hulkenberg told the tyres are looking very good. Oh, wow. Lando's going for it, isn't he? Maybe Lando can look after his tyres and not have to need the pit stop, eh? Maybe he just does the fastest lap on this set of tyres. Oh, commentator's curse. Charles Leclerc makes a mug of me. 135.371 fastest lap by Charles Leclerc to the tune of 0.6, eh? It's like a sauna in here, mate, says George Russell. Well, what do you expect, George? Like, George is having a bit of a moan, isn't he? Go on then. Different time. The delta between Messrs Russell and Hamilton currently 6 seconds. 47 seconds off the pace is one George Russell. First of his name. Oh, Danny Rick. Oh, Danny Rick getting gobbled up. Charles Leclerc takes 2.4 seconds out of Lewis Hamilton the last lap, says one Martin Brundle. Who hit the wall? Why is Lando hitting the wall? Is this dude, is he okay? Lando's 24 seconds ahead, 15 laps remaining, and already he's time trialing it with Charles Leclerc and hitting the wall. Sort out your brain, chat. Like, this is ridiculous. If I will be fuming if Lando Norris does something to jeopardise these 25 points in these last few laps. His safety car, Oscar gets a very good shout. I don't have traction, says Checo Perez. Stop moaning, Checo, and do something, chap. Do something. Go on then. All eyes. So they're saying it wasn't just a glancing blow from Lando. All eyes on his lap time. Oh, yeah, there you go. Crofty makes a very good point towards the end of it. It's the physical engine. The way that this track saps you, it makes it difficult to maintain concentration, right? Because you're in the car, quite literally, your energy is leaving. You've got no energy left, right? So your bandwidth becomes more mission critical, more sensitive as far as your ability to optimize for your performance. 25.6 seconds is the delta between Verstappen and Lando Norris. He's 20 seconds down the road. He's Oscar with 14 laps remaining. So if Lando goes on 134.9, be careful, Lando. Risk to reward, chap. He's doing a Lando, isn't he? 481 of you watching Kokoli. Do me a favour, smash the like. I'm nervous here for Lando. Just to sort out your priorities, mate. Do you know what I mean? Win the race first, and then you can. That's the low hanging fruit out here. So just be careful, chap. Do you know what I mean? Just be careful. Yeah, Barty makes the point. It's really easy at this stage of the race with no one around him. You know what I mean? For him to just, all it takes is like a split second of concentration loss, and then he'll be in the barrier. Yeah, no, Brundle makes the point. The laps can't go quick enough for one Lando Norris. Chill out, take a drink, recompose, mate. You got 20-something seconds in hand over the next best, Maximilian Verstappen. So what are we doing here, Lando? You know what I mean? Out here, the extra point is nice, but conserve the points that you have in hand. You know, sometimes as an investment manager, you've got to circle the wagons, invest in defensive stocks. Okay, full concentration, mate, because they see him, right? Drink, concentrate, circle the wagons, invest in defensive stocks. And there's a great driver, but the decision making is questionable at times. Seems a bit off. You're absolutely on the money, Macon. Strength, Pope. Let's go. Oh, what did Pope say? I keep falling asleep. Russ, wake up, man. Gotta watch this. 548 of you watching Kokoni. Do me a favour and smash a like. We are nearing the latter stages of this Grand Prix. We have 13 laps remaining. The plot line's yet to play out. Oscar Piastri going green. He's gapped Max Verstappen over the course of the last lap to the tune of a second. 13 laps remaining. He'll need more, won't he, though? He'll need more, or he'll need the rate at which Max Verstappen's tyres, the degradation, to accelerate fairly quickly over the last 13 laps, although I don't see that happening. Pope, fastest lap at the moment. I don't hate it. I don't hate it for Lando. I don't hate it, but I don't want to see any bloody... Don't go and do a George around here last year, Lando. Do you know what I mean? That's not cricket. Piastri will take the fastest lap without trying as a good shot. Or will he be a team player and give it to his old mate Lando? I suppose it depends on what Charles Leclerc does, eh? Charles Leclerc, again, catching Lewis, now within DRS of Lewis Hamilton. Oh, the humanity. Charles Leclerc looking to nab himself a Mercedes pair with 13 laps remaining, eh? Chance of a safety car, high chance, or at least there was a high chance at the outset. Although something's happened, I'm keen for somebody to do a deep dive and explain to me why all of a sudden safety cars aren't happening. Danny Rick currently last, 19th of 19. Oh, Charles Leclerc. I hate to see Charles Leclerc. I hate to see Lewis getting passed like this without a fight. Breaks my heart, I'll be honest with you. As a Lewis Hamilton fan, who said that he'll never sacrifice truth and objectivity at the altar of partisanship, Charles going to take Lewis, done it. Yeah, they left Lewis out to dry. It feels like it, Classic. It certainly feels like it. Too bad for K-Mag. Wow, Mercedes. Charles going really well. He's on one. Gapping my guy Carlos Sainz Jr. again. Comprehensively. Easy after now. George Russell 7 seconds down the road. Go on. All eyes on the gap between Oscar Piastri. Look at Max Verstappen though. Managing the gap between himself and Oscar Piastri very, very nicely. K-Mag. What's K-Mag on? Do you need another pen? Oh my gosh, K-Mag. Anytime we're on board with K-Mag, I'm just waiting for the accident to happen. Mag picked this lap, hit the wall. Oof. Oh yeah, something dropped off. It was a touch, but it looked like, I reckon the car's are sufficiently robust. That's good, Pope San Miguel. He's stronger than you. Jokers. Mechanics in the pit lane. 68% of you think that Oscar Piastri finishes in third. Wow, safety car restart. Everybody would finish. Over to you, K-Mag. Where's that safety car at, chat? You know what I mean? 489 if you're watching. Do me a favour, smash a like, please, because it matters more than you might know. We are 11 laps remaining till we get ourselves a cheeky flag. You runners and riders. Norris in first. Max Verstappen in second. 28 seconds adrift. Piastri thereafter. Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso, Hulkenberg, and Perez sees out your point scoring position, languishing once again a gazillion miles behind his teammate Maximilian Verstappen, behind Nico Hulkenberg. Oh, the humanity. What are we doing here? Honestly, beggars billet, like, it makes no sense. Checo Perez, mate, you might be joining Danny Rick soon. You know what I mean? What a blind you played. Charles going really well. No, he's done well, Charles, to be fair. Lando will bring out safety car. Don't say that, Yanni. Don't say that. You can't possibly say that. Kevin has a puncture. Kevin has a puncture. Behave. Don't say it's not so, Macon. No, you can't have a puncture. He's not dropping it. He's not dropping at a fast enough rate. I know, T8365. It doesn't feel like it was the Apex Predator, not the boys and girls at Brackley and Brixworth's finest moment. George, can you steer? George has steering. And I don't know what George is on about. Just moaning. Just an incident of the race, you know, for George Russell. Just moaning, as George does tend to moan. Do you know what I mean? What are you going to do, McLaren? Stick or twist? Bonkers. How is Lando so fast? And again, you got to go, if you're assessing Lando Norris's performance, my mind goes forward to my reaction. If Oscar Piastri is that good, where is he? Mate, it's not a bad show from Messrs Norris and Verstappen, eh? Yeah, it's true. Brundle makes a salient point again. What they haven't had in this race is any type of there's been no respite, eh? Five, two, one. If you're watching Kokoni, do me a favour and smash a like. Illegal front wing and rear wing, not rear wing at least, and there, and not this one. Another 1-2 for McLaren thrown away. Oh no! Oh dear! Oh, the humanity. Max needs Perez as Sir Lewis. Use Bottas. Yo, bomb Lando. No, we can't. We can't advocate for that. Will Ricardo be the third driver? He'll be a reserve potentially, or they might just get rid. Go off into the sunset, go and drive Indy cars or NASCAR or something. Eh? He's got options. I mean, people will be after Danny Rick. That's when you have to be stronger. I get the denial thing. Pope San Miguel, formerly McLaren F1 race. I did not know this. This is new information to me, Jan. Change your name, McLaren. Why? I liked McLaren F1 race. Charles, like, what are you telling me about Delta to Lando for? Not racing him. Again, Delta between Leclerc and George Russell. What is going on? Yeah, props to Colopin. So there you go. Purple lap from K-Mag. Course. Lando will be fuming at that. But again, he's got 29 seconds between himself and 9 laps remaining. Do you stick or twist, McLaren? Papaya rules. It's over to you, ladies and gents. I wish George would snog the wall, not kiss it, says Fraser. I can't wish bad on any of the drivers, love or loathe. That's hope would he go. This is the prevailing sentiment, chaps, guys and girls, that George Russell kisses the wall. Oh, the humanity! You guys are so cruel. Unimportant, but 8 laps to go. Sky graphics say 10 laps. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. I don't believe that. They're so bad. Sky 8 laps evaded. 32 minutes on the clock again. That won't come into play, right? Oh, this race. I don't know how I feel. I don't see Piastri long at McLaren, says Roniel. It's a conversation, eh? Depends on the interaction between the two. It depends on how they develop next year's car. Lando Norris, just chill out. Bring the car home, Lando. Chill out, mate. Stop flipping, risking 25 points for 1 point for the fastest lap. This is just common sense, Lando. You know what I mean? How do you like your F1? So P1, behave. Sad watching Lewis. Is this all about tyres? So he just keeps moaning about the tyres. So listen, soft tyres around here was always going to be a risk, eh? It was always going to be techie. Medium to hard. He tried a thing and ultimately sometimes... George does this a lot, doesn't he? Sometimes you try a joker of a strategy when you should just do the conventional. And that'd be the quickest way A to B. And that's what it feels like Lewis in conjunction even with his engineers have tried. And I don't think that wasn't the apex predator of a strategy, sadly. But it is what it is, eh? It is what it is. Pierre wasn't told to back off. Oscar doesn't back off. Might as well close the Works team, the Works Mercedes team if McLaren is spanking them. No, they wouldn't do anything like that. No. No chance. Wow, fair play. Brundle says that at the outset, the objective for Scuderia was 6th and 7th. Now they find themselves in 5th and 7th, so they've at least outperformed themselves per their expectations at the start of the race. But what does that mean to me? They've outperformed, they've underperformed materially what their expectations should have been at the start of the race weekend, and that to me is all that matters. Driver errors critically, but whatever. Checo Perez. Oh my gosh, Checo Perez and them man are about to get lapped. Lando Norris goes fast as... Careful, Lando. Careful, chap. Oh my god, they deleted K-Mag's lap. Careful. Be careful. Colapinto about to get lapped. 60, 34, 134. Yeah, they're about to get lapped, aren't they? Oh, the humanity. Don't jinx it, Crofty, saying that Lando's had all the good luck because he has brushed the wall several times. You know what? Fortune sometimes favours the brain. 7 laps on the docket, ladies and gents. Or 62 laps, 52 laps on 56 laps. Third time lucky, eh? 57 laps now on the docket, 6 laps remaining. Lando Norris has been dominant. Can he bring this home? That's the only question that remains to be answered. 555, are you watching concurrently? Subaru settings from WRC back in the day. Do me a favour and smahoosh that like, por favor. Prix is getting a bit wild unnecessarily. Macon, I don't even know about unnecessarily. He needs to do something. Someone call Gotifi to bring out a cheeky safety car. Lando isn't cheating. McLaren is using the flaws in the system 100%. Careful, Lando. No, Lando might burn out the tyres, mate. He might burn out himself. Why? Because the physical conditions at Singapore are trying, and therefore the bandwidth does one of these, and thereafter mistakes start to happen. I feel like I've just tried to do a pulp. There's a phrase in Pulp Fiction, isn't there? Oscar struggling through 3 cars. Okay, so we're lapping. Get to Lando Norris. Lando Norris is in the danger zone, having to lap some back markers, eh? Pierre was never in the race. I know, it's weird that. It is weird. But again, it has to go long and having to overtake people. They put him in a difficult situation. Did McLaren do Oscar Piastri? Just a tad. Just a little bit, do you know what I mean? 461 of you watching concurrently as we near the end of this barnstormer of a Singapore Grand Prix with 6 laps remaining. Lando Norris has the red pen. He has the whip hand. Don't know about Logan being bad. He gave Oscar a fight. Maybe F1. Well, I mean, the translation, what you're speaking about there, Booble, is the translation of talent through to the upper echelon motorsport formula. Once upon a time, you might have been good in F2 or F3. But how does that translate? Green from Maximilian Verstappen on a 1:36.4. 25.5 is the time delta that Lando Norris has in hand over his next best, the protagonist that is Maximilian Verstappen. 3 times, soon to be 4-time champion, some say. Oscar Piastri delta. Again, he's still got 7-8 seconds in hand as Maximilian Verstappen. Oh yeah, let's get a driver of the day. Let's get a cheeky driver of the day out, eh? Eh? Oh yeah, let's do that then. Nostalgia settings. Driver. Oh, Charles Leclerc, we got action. Go on, you guys let me know who your driver of the day is. I feel like something's going to happen in this race. My spidey sense is teeny. I don't know. It's the risk of safety car, Ray, but there are no stakes. Safety car comes out normally of stakes racing. Well, you have so many of them at the start of the Grand Prix when everybody's trying to win a race. I guess Perez's future is fait accompli. Depends whether they take pity on him, right? Because he's had these issues with his dad. Lando, box. No, Lando's a clown, says Thundera. Why? He's been incredible. You know what I mean? He's consistent. Piastri wasn't fighting, at least this year. Now he's trying to obliterate Max. McLaren is like, Daddy, chill. Danny, just because. I thought a lot of you would vote Danny Rick. The last opportunity probably that you'll ever get to vote for Danny Rick as driver of the day. Nostalgia vote, eh? Go on then, let's have a look with, as we are, 59 laps on the docket, 4 laps remaining. Lando Norris dominating. 23.4 seconds though. It seems like Lando's taking his foot off the gas. And Max Verstappen is trying still. 7 seconds is the delta that Verstappen has on Oscar Jack Piastri in third. 41 seconds adrift is Oscar of the race lead. His teammate Lando, no wins. No wins. Mr. Glass half empty. I should save those disparaging characterizations for Lando because he's been brilliant all race weekend. Has the Brit George Russell currently still has the whip hand for fourth, but not for long, as Charles Leclerc has DRS, desperately trying to get himself up into fourth, eh? So we have ourselves some racing in the last three laps of this, the Singapore Grand Prix 2024. Let's have a gander, eh? Let's have a gander. Go on then, Charles. Is it going to be two races running where George Russell stacks it into the barrier with only a couple of laps remaining? He did it on the last race, didn't he? Or last time round at this. Oh, Charles Leclerc right on George Russell's gearbox. Everyone picking Lando, didn't hit the like button. This is true, lazy. Do you know what I mean? Do me a favour and smash the like if you haven't already. Why? Because it is free and it really helps the channel. I don't really have a driver of the day this race, but if Lando pulls out the win, it's hard to vote against him, isn't it? Sid, Danny for good old, I know. Overly biased chat. Oh dear. 24% Danny Rick, 24% Connor Pinto, very close. Get voting. As we've only a couple of laps remaining. Charles Leclerc right on the gearbox of George Russell. Driving angry, isn't he? Be careful, Charles. Driving very, very angry. That Danny Rick fastest lap. 561 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour, special like Danny Rick fastest lap. There we go. Danny Rick about to go out with a blaze of glory. Take the fastest lap. Don't hate that. I do not hate that. Prez made it into the point, saving his drive. I don't know, Sydney, is that enough? Kylie Minogue about to wave the checkered flag. Oh, he's gone, hasn't he? Final lap. Why is my thing not refreshing? Oh, because Lando's already crossed the line, eh? Charles Leclerc. Oh, Charles Leclerc misses himself a cheeky apex, having to correct for an oversteer instance. Brundle, did you hear Brundle? Brundle said that Charles Leclerc keeps oh, careful, George. Charles Leclerc keeps feigning up the inside of the wrong corners. I will pocket that phrase and I will trot it out as if it were my own. Charles Leclerc keeps feigning up the inside of the wrong corners. How uneducated can you be? Perez made it into the point, saved his drive. I don't know. Why you Brit Sangre, Piastri podium? Why vote for McLaren? Dodgy rear wing. Not this time round, Vincent. Last time round, potentially. But I mean, if it's in the rules, if it passed the test, then it passed the test, right? Lando didn't have the best race. He had the best car. Lazy. The naysayers will come out. 22 seconds, really, Lando. Oh no, chaos. Look at that. 22.0. Mate, I don't know, that's quite impressive for me. That 42 seconds down the road from his teammate, Oscar, we all know on the back of the most recent evidence is not a bad peddler, ladies and gents. Do you know what I mean? Come on. Pope says, I'd spin. Kylie would have a lot of us spinning around, I think. Kylie back in the day, I was never a big fan of Kylie, if I'm honest. I assume you're talking about Kylie's personality, Pope. But I was never a big fan of Kylie's personality. Not as much. All my friends at school were like, Kylie Minogue was the pole sitter, but I never quite saw it. Charles Leclerc still trying it. Still trying a ting. We are on our final lap. Lando Norris about to nail himself. 25 points. We'll take it, Pope. We'll take it. Bin it, George. No, we can't do that. Not around here. Kylie had one song I ever knew. What was the first? She had another one with Jason Donovan, didn't she? I'm showing my age now. Come on, Danny. Put some respect on his name. Let's go, Michael. Let's go. 134.486 for old time's sake from Danny Rick. Nostalgia settings. But do you know what I mean? I don't hate it. Watch Lando. I bet Lando's probably about to try and beat that 134.486. Go on, let's have a look. How fast has Lando Norris gone on that final lap? Not fastest. not faster. 1:37. Wow, 20 seconds. Put some respect on Lando Norris's name. Lando with the fastest lap as well? No. Crofty, if he's to be believed, says he didn't get the fastest lap. Good for Lando to get one without controversy. I completely agree with that, Gian. You've nailed it, Gian. Absolutely nailed it. There you go, Danny. There you go. I don't hate that. That fills me with a warm feeling. It's been a Grand Prix that fizzled, but it didn't quite pop, did it? Lando Norris is your race winner, who sees out Max Verstappen in second to 20.9, the tune of 20.9 seconds. Piastri in third, Russell thereafter, Leclerc in fifth, not managing to get around King George Russell, first of his name. Behind him, you've got Lewis, Sainz, Alonso, Hulkenberg, and Perez gets your final point. I do not know, however, ladies and gents, whether that will be enough to keep him in a job as at the Circuit of Americas. It's gonna be interesting. Eh? Lando over the radio. Good job, mate. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. You see what? Why does Lando do this? Stop saying lovely, mate, when you're like, no, it was a champion's drive, Martin. But why does he get like a little sniff of glory, and then all of a sudden he's like throwing jobs at Maximilian Verstappen, who's still like 50? So it was 59. It will be, so he's still 52 points ahead of you in the championship, Lando. It's far too soon to start talking about lovely, which of course is Maximilian Verstappen's words. Win some more races first, Lando, before you start like, do you know what I mean? Before you start firing shots. Love Lando, and he's like, I mean, you can't knock him. A couple of cheeky mistakes, which could have worked out poorly from him, but you know what I mean? You just chill out. Why, when Lando wins, it's always a boring race? I mean, because he's fast, eh? Because he's fast and that car is fast. Bless. That's so lovely. Max Verstappen said, thank you, Daniel. That's a nice touch. Oh, the humanity. By the way, did you hear Crofty say Danny Rick gets fastest lap in his last race? 100%. Not one of the greatest races. No, it popped, but it didn't quite bang. McLaren needed a 1-2 today. They did need, but they fudged at the strategy, I feel. Lando's simply lovely. Yeah, it's too early. I don't want to hear Lando talking. Lando needs to be closer. He needs to take advantage of more opportunities more of the time. For me, in my humble opinion, before he starts to say simply lovely. I don't want to hear it from him. Missed opportunity, bad strategy from Oscar. Lando, underdog boxes on, Lynch box back. Don't mess with him. Just woke up now, says Derek. I feel like going back to sleep. No change, as you were. Again, it wasn't the greatest Grand Prix that you've ever seen, but the racing gods don't tend to bless you like that for 2 races straight, eh? Interesting race, says Martin Brundle. It fizzled, but it did not pop. Lando Norris dominates, not just the race, but the race weekend. Props to him. He was very good. Is it championship on? Not quite yet, if I'm honest. Lovely. Mega masterclass. Few words that I can live without here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, mate, and I agree with you. Premature. Ricardo doing that backs up everything that Zach Brown has said about owning 2 teams. I agree. I agree. This is true. Fizzle but didn't pop. There is your Singapore Grand Prix for 2024. You guys have been legends. I'll be back a little bit later to talk some more F1. Reaction video coming imminently, I promise. If I can find something to talk about, something about which I can get sufficiently passionate. Difficult Grand Prix. Thank you, each and every single one of you. You guys have all been legends. I owe all of the channel's success to you. Why? Because it's built on your not insubstantial shoulders. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Catch up with you later. How, ladies and gentlemen, do you like your Formula One?